This video has been made out of solely the last 3 hours of my life that I have blamed other circumstances that have benefited things that could have gone my way or could have not gone my way. And to be honest with you, blaming others, blaming problems, blaming weaknesses in yourself is extremely negative. It's extremely weak, and it creates a false opinion about yourself. It suddenly builds up in your mind that you actually haven't got the ability to do something, even if you might have, because you feel like you weren't able to do one thing, making it harder to do the next. And it resonates between your life, different things that happen in your life, because you feel like not being able to do one thing will make it harder to do another, and then it will keep spiraling. It will keep spiraling to create a false negative picture in your mind about how you actually feel about yourself, your self-image of yourself. And I had this, and I'm hoping that I can get rid of this, but it's very tough, because if you do something negative that is hard to come back from, hard to change, you realize that you might not be good enough. You might not be good enough to achieve something. You might not be good enough to reach a goal, a habit, you might not be good enough to attract someone into your life, a girl, a friend. Guys who are hoping to network with someone that is really successful will weaken themselves to try to talk to them and act as if they're a fan of them, which suddenly creates a perspective of the other person that you are below them and you are weakening them. And unfortunately, it's your fault. And maybe if you're accountable to that problem, you can regain the friendship that you aspire to have with the other person. But if you're accountable for not being better than them, and you physically go up to them and say, "Hi, I'd love to hang out with you because I feel like you would really benefit me. I'd really learn a lot from you. And I am accountable to the fact that I am not currently on the same level as you, but I truly feel like I can get to the level that you're on." Do you feel like they'll just cut you off and throw you away? No. You're accepting the fact that you aren't as good as them, and you're identifying that whilst showing some true an eager want to actually build and grow and develop to the point that you will be as good as them. Some people say this and don't really achieve it, but a lot of people, you can usually tell whether someone is being honest and sincere by how they react by saying something. If you're accountable, you're always going to be honest. If you're showing a sign of vulnerability, if you're showing a vulnerable side of yourself, you aren't going to be lying. You aren't going to be weird. You won't feel like you're saying the wrong thing. But when you lie, it's much more negative. It's a much more negative situation, and it will not help you, or it will not help them, because you can't help them and it can't help you. I feel like being accountable emotionally and mentally when you're about to approach a girl or you are talking to a girl is in some way a good thing. If they are older than you, if you don't feel you should talk to them because you aren't good enough, I think it does have, people will say that that's something that is avoiding you from talking to them, but at the same time you aren't masculine enough to talk to them, you aren't developed enough to talk to them, and it really, if you're looking for a relationship, it really does matter about how you feel, the level that you are attractive to them and they are to you. It's so important, because if you are accountable to the fact that they are above you, you aren't going to be able to protect them, you aren't going to be able to serve them, that you aren't going to be able to make them want you, because they have no want for you, because you have accepted yourself that you aren't above them, you aren't good enough for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's far much more a better thing, because as soon as you realise that, it's going to make you want to work harder, it's going to make you want to build on yourself. Maybe it's how strong you are, maybe it's how mentally present you are, maybe it's how masculine you are, maybe it's how social you are. It's obviously something that isn't that important, but at the same time it does make a difference. It is important for a healthy relationship, and me personally, I feel like relationships are the most important thing on this planet by far. To a lot of things, maybe some things do compare to it, but at the end of the day, it keeps you accountable, it keeps you chasing something, and it's very important to grow, to develop, having accountability, having problems you're acceptable for, and working hard to truly please yourself, because you've shown that you aren't good enough currently. You show that you aren't at the point that you want to be. And if you're not, you can message me if you have any other questions on Instagram. The link is down in the description, or you can just type Thomas Venner1 into Instagram. Have a great day, like it, peace out.